What would you do if you couldn't reach 911 in an emergency? It's not a question we often ponder, but in a twist that feels like it was pulled from an episode of The Twilight Zone, 4 states in the US recently had to confront this very predicament. In Nebraska, Nevada, South Dakota, and Texas, the 911 emergency lines went dark. This wasn't a case of the lines being busy or the call centers being overwhelmed. No, the lines were as silent as a mime at a library. The cause? Potentially heightened cyber attack risks on internet-based systems. It's like a modern-day game of Clue, but instead of Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick, it's an unknown hacker in a basement with a keyboard. The outages, which started around 10 in the evening, were mostly restored by the witching hour. In the meantime, local authorities scrambled to provide alternative contact methods. Picture a game of telephone, but with actual telephones, and instead of a silly phrase getting distorted, it's the address of your emergency. In some areas, such as Las Vegas, Nevada, the 911 calls from landlines failed to connect. However, the dispatchers, acting like tech-savvy Sherlock Holmes, could still see incoming calls and were able to respond by calling back. It's a bit like getting a missed call notification from your crush and then frantically trying to call them back. Meanwhile, in Texas, the City of Del Rio Police Department pointed the finger at a major cellular carrier outage. It seems the issue lay not with the city's systems, but with the carrier. It's like blaming your dog for eating your homework only to find out it was actually your little brother. And for those who thought to text 911, they were in luck. Turns out even when phone lines were down, texts to the 911 number were successfully received. Who knew that, in the age of instant messaging, the humble text message would save the day? The Federal Communications Commission is currently investigating the cause of the outage. The plot thickens, the suspense builds. Will our intrepid investigators unmask the villain? Only time will tell. In the end, all attempted calls during the outage were addressed. So, while it may have been a bumpy night with a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood thriller, the story ended on a high note. The moral of the story? When the going gets tough, the tough get texting. In a world where we rely so heavily on technology, it's a stark reminder that sometimes even the most robust systems can falter. But as we've seen, with a little ingenuity and a lot of perseverance, we can still find a way to connect. And isn't that what it's all about? Stay tuned for our next episode, When GPS Fails, Navigating with a Paper Map.